Have day today, dog. Offense, great drive.
Go, go!
Up. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to practice today, presented by SiriusXM. Everybody is recharged here at One Jets Drive as the Jets prepare for their rematch against the Patriots. This game, of course, coming in Foxborough. Welcome inside the BetMGM studio. I'm Ethan Greenberg, joined alongside Eric Allen. EA, how did you spend your bye week?
Great to see you. What a pitcher out there today at One Jets Drive. It looks like spring, not fall out there. It's going to be like, what, 70 degrees today?
Yeah, I was going to say that the temperatures are taking a dip here over the past week, but today it's the anomaly. It's very nice outside today.
All right, so how I spent my bye, I took my daughter's swim lessons. That was very cool. Then on Sunday, we went to a pumpkin patch, picked up a pumpkin that we have to carve at home. And then finally, I enjoyed watching some football. And Leger Douzable and I were talking about this on the Official Jets podcast. Did you get a chance to watch that Cowboys-Patriots game?
Yes, I did. That game was awesome.
It was.
The 1 o'clock games, if you were here locally, were not, it wasn't so close for a little bit there. But the 4:25 game, the Sunday night game, it made up for it.
What else did you do? Because we know you're an avid golfer. The last time we talked to you, you were over across the pond, and you had just gotten off a links course, I think.
I did. I did manage my way to find my way onto a course once. Took some time off. Just kind of relaxed. I did not go to a pumpkin patch, although I regret not getting some apple cider donuts.
There, everybody loves apple cider donuts. There's a great site for the Jets and Jets fans. Marcus May back on the practice field. He was a full participant on Wednesday.
And we're going to talk about the full roster report, the injury report later in this show. But before we can dive into anything here, I just want to say go to Twitter, go to eGreenbergJets, go vote in this poll. We're going to have some fun with this later on. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. We'll circle back. But that leads us to today's headline, which is that the Jets are gearing up for a game after, they had the week off last week. So Robert Saleh said the focus would be to start faster, right? And he said the staff made some minor tweaks in practice. So what do you expect that to be, and what do you expect to transpire on Sunday in terms of starting faster?
Yeah, you're right. In fact, he said there's going to be subtle differences that the media might not actually notice out there on the practice field. But I think the effort here by Robert Saleh and the entire coaching staff is to get these guys going quicker. We've talked about the Jets' struggles in the first quarter and the first half throughout the season. So he's just trying to explore any possible avenue, and that includes changing up their body clocks.
I'm just we're looking at before he took a knee, Isaiah Williams was really jamming. He must like whatever the playlist is out there.
We can't hear it through our IFBs right now.
No, we can't because it's probably commercial music. But anyway, look, we're going to talk about Zach Wilson, of course, later on in this show. But Corey Davis right there is going through his warm-ups. I mean, you would imagine that he would be a big part of a reason for the Jets to start faster. He could play a hand in that along with the receivers.
Yeah, he certainly could. Corey Davis was a focus of that Patriots defense back in week 2, the 25-6 victory for New England. I believe he had 2 catches, 8 yards. But Davis, if you watched NewYorkJets.com, our digital platforms or our social platforms, he talked to the media yesterday. And he reiterated at least 10 times, we're ready. There's a good vibe around here. And the Jets came back after the bye refreshed and ready to go.
And that guy right there, Morgan Moses, Jets could get going on the ground, put Zach Wilson in some favorable situations, second and manageable, third and manageable. We'll see what happens. But it's great we're talking about Morgan Moses, as now we see Robert Saleh and John Benton, the run game coordinator here for the Jets and the offensive line coach. But going off Morgan Moses, that kind of leads us to our Jet in focus, because we need to give the big guys some love up front. And specifically, let's focus on left guard, rookie left guard at that, Elijah Vera-Tucker, who had the highest PFF grade among all O-linemen in the NFL in Week 5.
Well, we talked about his versatility coming out of USC, right? He excelled playing tackle last year. He switched back to guard. That's where he started his collegiate career at. He's a mauler. He gets after guys, and he moves very well. I think he can fit into any scheme, but especially this one. We've seen him really take off the last couple weeks, which is awfully encouraging before the bye. And remember, he was banged up in the summer, so you would think that the best of AVT is on the way, and you just talked about his grades before the bye. Listen, this guy's going to be stud in the National Football League, and the line play as a whole has gotten a lot better for the Jets.
Yeah, and if you take a look specifically at pass protection, through the first 3 games, the Jets allowed 15 sacks. Over their last 2, only 3 sacks so far. And Elijah Vera-Tucker, a big reason for that. You mentioned the injury in the preseason. You still see the wrap around his right pec. And I think that's something that's been even more impressive, that he's done all this while, maintaining limited range of motion, as Bart Scott told us.
Yeah, you knew there was going to be a learning curve for all these guys. The Jets have gotten more rookie snaps, or they had more rookie snaps than anybody in the National Football League through 5 weeks. But Joe Douglas moved up from 23 to 14 to get him. And the Jets love his intangibles, his physicality, his approach. So you're awfully excited by what you're seeing from the offensive line. And you mentioned, we had that graphic up before.
Can we pull that up again?
Yeah, that pass protection, people were really worried about the Jets, considering what happened to Mekhi Becton. He goes down in week 1. Then you have George Fant switch over from right tackle to left tackle. He said that it was going to be a tough transition to make during the season. Then Morgan Moses obviously coming in to play right tackle. But they have been providing very good pass protection for Zach Wilson. Of course, the next step for the Jets is to get more of that balance running the football. But guys like Elijah Vera-Tucker are going to open up some holes. Remember that first meeting against the Patriots, of course, 152 yards. The other thing that, yes, they didn't have a lot of yards against Atlanta, but they did have 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's something you can build upon.
Right, and I also think it's important to note 2 things. One, on that graphic, the Jets were bottom 3rd in the league in weeks 1 through 3, and then the past 2 games, top half of the league in every metric that we just showed.
This dude is nasty. And we're just watching Vera-Tucker. Look at, he's just a picture of concentration right now. Look at those arms. He is nasty. How many times has he talked about, I want to finish guys on the ground?
A lot. And I just want to note that we saw Dan Feeney, the mullet, mid-season form. It's always in mid-season form. But
well, you know why? Because hockey season has started.
That's a great point.
Okay.
He's probably rooting for the Islanders. Anyway, come out to MetLife Stadium Sunday, October 31st, 1 p.m. to see the Jets host the Bengals. All fans will receive a free Stealth Black rally towel presented by Green Giant. Get your tickets at nyjets.com/tickets. All right, taking a look at this week's roster report, we have to focus on the linebackers here, right? Jared Davis still on injured reserve. C.J. Mosley did not practice yesterday. That means the Jets could be without both of those players. You take a look at yesterday's full injury report. Tyler Kroft, still a non-participant. Marcus May, limited in practice. And then the good news here, the Jets seem that they're getting back Adrian Colbert and Jeff Smith, who are both full participants in practice.
You mentioned Mosley. That's the guy we got to watch for today. He's a team captain. He leads the defense with 45 tackles. A lot of people think he is playing back at a Pro Bowl level. He's been flying all over the field. Great physicality. And this is a guy we'll have to monitor this week. That's Jamie Sherwood. Because if Mosley can't go, then Sherwood's going to step up into the Mike position. The Jets had been hopeful Jared Davis might be able to go against the Patriots. That's looking increasingly unlikely. So maybe next week he can give it a go. So the linebacker position could see a little bit of shuffling. You also have Quincy Williams there, who has come up with some big-time hits. Good waiver find from the New York Jets. So he's a guy who has found a home in this defense. Blake Cashman as well. And then Saleh also mentioned Noah Dawkins on Wednesday.
And I just want to say this about Quincy Williams. He's one of 2 players in the NFL right now through the first 5 weeks of the season with at least 30 tackles and at least 5 tackles for loss. He also leads the NFL with 3 forced fumbles. So you were talking about the big hits earlier. But that kind of led me to my next question is what do you expect that room or that group to look like, assuming Mosley does not play in this instance? And, of course, the thing to know about Davis is he needs to be cleared to return to practice before he can even be activated off of IR.
Well, you're extremely hopeful that Mosley can go. If he can't go, the Jets love Sherwood, not just what he can bring to the game as far as his physical skill set, but mentally he's really sharp. He knows this defense. In fact, we talked about it in the past that Jeff Albrecht said he had never seen a rookie like this grasp a system so quick. So he's on it. He's an instinctive player, obviously making the transition from the collegiate level where he played more of a box safety, and now he's a full-time linebacker. And then who's going to be lining up next to him? You would figure it would be Quincy Williams if Mosley can't go. And then maybe in those 3 linebacker sets, it is Blake Cashman.
You know, I just want to throw this in real quick is, you know, Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, they often, and Saleh talked about this, they like to pick on mismatches, right? If C.J. Mosley doesn't play, don't you think that this is something that Bill Belichick and the Patriots would look into, at least to try to exploit? Because C.J. Mosley, we talked about what he's done on the field. He's also an extremely smart player.
Well, there's a couple things here. I thought the Jets' defense played awfully well in that first meeting, but every game against the New England Patriots is its own season. So I don't know how much you can throw out from that game. But the Patriots will try to get that run game going. Sherwood, Quincy Williams is playing very well downhill right now. What you have to watch out for from the Patriots, even if Mosley is in the lineup, is they like to get the ball to their backs in the passing game because they don't want to have their rookie quarterback, Mac Jones, in 3rd and long situations. Everything for them is about 1st and 2nd downs. And right now, even though they hit a couple long passes against the Cowboys, you know this, they're still throwing a lot of short intermediate passes, and that includes the running backs. So the linebackers have to be on that.
All right, so the Jets ran for 152 yards against the Patriots in Week 2. So for a closer look at New England's defensive line, let's go inside the film room with Brian Baldinger in this week's Baldy's Breakdown presented by Sharp.
Thanks, Ethan. This week in the film room, I really want to break down the Patriots' run defense and why they're so effective. The Patriots are excellent against the run. Here they are in a basic 3-4 defense with number 23, Duggar, their safety, down the linebacker box. Cowboys are going to try him right there. But when you play the Patriots, you're going to get a lot of this. Late stemming. See the nose? Late stemming. Late movement. All right? Right up against the snap. Now, watch Hightower, number 54, take on the tight end. See, they play with leverage. They get underneath their pads, all right, and they're hard to move. And then they squeeze. All right? The yards are hard to come by. All right, now, Tony Pollard, it's the same thing. All right, there's Duggar up there on the tight end. Now watch Matt Judon right here, number 9. See, he's up against Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith's an all-pro tackle. Look at the leverage that he has, playing with great pad level, all right, to take down Tony Pollard. They are excellent on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and goal line plays. All right, now, you watch this play. They're not going to get trapped. Like, they're going to try and cut Judon here with the tight end. He's going to go right through it and then look inside. They don't get anybody moved off the ball. They play with pad level. They get low and they shrink the hole. But it's not that you can't run the ball. You just have to execute. Like, here's the Cowboys wide receivers. They all block here on this play. Now watch the second level of the Patriots here. They all get blocked. All 3 guys at the second level get blocked. And the receivers block. And when you get that, you can get effective plays. But it takes a contribution from everybody doing their job in concert to really crease this Patriot defense in the run game.
Great stuff from Baldy, perhaps the most surprising thing. Brian Baldinger in a button-down? He goes shopping during the bye week?
I like the look. I was thinking like a little bit of Harrison Ford. What do you think?
Okay. I like it. I like it. You know, so Baldy talked about the Patriots' rushing defense. The Jets obviously rushed for 152 yards in Week 2. The guy through the traffic here, right? Zach Wilson.
Oh, we're looking right through Saleh.
Yeah, well.
That's a big dude.
Yeah, Saleh, he can cover some ground, all right? And so for Zach Wilson, you know that a run game would help them. And even if you think about what happened in week 2, the Jets had a run game. You knew we were going to bring this up at some point. Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions against the Patriots, right? So what does he need to do, or what can he do to put himself in a better situation starting this Sunday?
I think just settle in and trust what you're seeing on the field. I think some of the throws that have turned into turnovers, he's been a little bit late on. Also, settle in to the pocket. We love his feet, but when he's really set and he lets it go, the ball is accurate. But it's a team game, and Mike LaFleur talked about it. Robert Saleh talked about it. You need all 11 going offensively. And what struck me is Saleh has a conversation with defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich right now. What struck me about LaFleur today is he brought up a stat that I don't think people realized. Yes, the Jets don't have the points in the first quarter, but they're averaging, 7 plays? He said 7 plays in the first quarter. I don't know if that's throughout the season or the last couple games.
Yeah, but regardless,
you need more plays.
You do. And that's what LaFleur keeps talking about, that in order for the Jets, Big Foley, let's take a moment here. Big Foley bringing up the team.
Oh, yeah. Fatukasi.
All right.
He's telling him what's on tap this week.
Yeah, Foley knows a thing or two about the Patriots, as does Marcus May, who, it seems like he will be returning to game action after missing 2 games. But for Zach Wilson, and Mike LaFleur talked about this, the amount of plays to get the rotation at receiver that he wants, to get the ground game going, to get Michael Carter and Ty Johnson touches, to get Elijah Moore touches, whether that's inside, outside, in the backfield. He just talked about this. Maybe that the Jets are going to look for some shorter plays, but not all defenses give up the short play.
Yeah, you got to take what the defense gives you, right? Against the Patriots, we're talking to LeJay Douzable and Bart Scott about this earlier this week, and Bart emphasize this, that every time you play the Patriots, it's a totally new game. So their defensive game plan that you saw in week 2 could be totally different this week. Dallas, their offense prolific. They're doing a lot of good things right now. They totaled, more than 560 total yards against the Patriots. But the Patriots defensively, they still are thriving on third down. If they get teams in third and long situations, they're getting off the field. And Baldy just showed what they can do up front in the trenches. The guy you got to stay away from can cause a lot of problems. You don't want to throw any 50-50 balls around J.C. Jackson because he can flip the field in a hurry. J.C.
Jackson, pretty sure, led the NFL in interceptions last season, had one against Zach Wilson in week 2. And we'll see what's in store for number 2 in round 2 against the Patriots this Sunday in Foxborough. And Jets fans, as you stock up for game day this season, you got to keep an eye out for specially marked Pepsi products for your chance to win exciting Jets prizes from Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New York Jets. So it's time for our Stats Amazing segment, as always, on Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM, courtesy of Randy Lang. He keeps bringing the heat. The temperature's dipped, but the temperature's up now because Randy's bringing the heat on Practice Today. So this is what he has. For the first time since 1962, the Jets have drawn 40-yard penalties on pass interference plays on their opponents in back-to-back games, with Corey Davis's 43-yarder against Tennessee's Dane Cruikshank and Elijah Moore's 41-yarder against Atlanta's A.J. Terrell.
Okay, the Jets love Elijah Moore's ability down the field, and one thing that flew under the radar in London was that he drew that big-time pass interference penalty. And the Jets loved his versatility, but he's got rare ability down the field. So, yes, you're going to want to take the short passes, the short gains when they're there. But also don't expect the Jets to go away from throwing the ball to him down the field. Again, it's been a relatively slow start to his NFL career, but he remains upbeat. You talked to him yesterday, and I had a chance to briefly speak to him. Elijah Moore is in great spirits right now.
Yeah, he seems to be very refreshed as well. And I just want to throw this out there in terms of the pass interference calls. Last season, the Jets had a 40-plus yard pass interference penalty against the Patriots, Rashad Perriman, Jason McCourty. So maybe the Jets will go 3 for 3, but that is to be determined on Sunday. And for more numbers, let's hear from NFL Network analytics expert Cynthia Freeland.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back from the bye week. The Jets are headed up to Foxborough for a rematch of this rookie versus rookie quarterback battle. Here are the 3 numbers that I'm tracking for this weekend's matchup. The first number is 7. In Week 5's matchup with the Falcons, that offensive line was impressive. As a unit, they only allowed 7 total pressures. And rookie guard Elijah Vera Tucker, he allowed 0. He had a PFF grade of over 92. That's awesome, and it's also his second week in a row of exceptional production. The O-line's ability to keep Zach Wilson clean allowed Mike LaFleur to utilize play action on 44.1% of plays, which was up from about 24%, which is what they were averaging prior. The second number I'm looking at, 6.2. Rookie running back Michael Carter averaged 6.2 yards per attempt on rushes to the left against the Falcons. He had 6 attempts for 37 yards. He also added a touchdown, which came when he forced a missed tackle. The last number, 2.48 seconds. That's super fast. That's the Jets' defensive front's time from snap until pressure. It ranks 6th best in the NFL, and it's part of the reason why the Jets have the 8th most sacks in the league. Mac Jones gets the ball out of his hands at an average of 2.64 seconds, which ranks 5th fastest. So the Jets will look to use their speed up front to disrupt him.
All right, thank you very much, Cynthia. Now it's time to move on to the option route. We're back, we're refreshed, we're bringing the heat here. Let's start with this one. Mac Jones has thrown an interception in each of his last 4 games. The Jets have 0 picks this season. So, EA, which position group will have the team's first interception? Are you giving it to the secondary or are you giving it to the front 7?
Look at your screen. Number 37, Bryce Hall, second-year cornerback for the New York Jets. I believe he has 5 pass defenses over the course of the last 2 games. He very nearly had an interception of Matt Ryan over in London. He's getting closer and closer. I got Bryce Hall getting the Jets' first interception. And you got a good stat about Mac Jones because he was protecting the football early, but there's been opportunities to take it away of late.
Yes, there has. So you're going with the secondary. I am also going with the secondary, although I wasn't planning on giving a player. But, let's go with Marcus May, right? I feel like Marcus has good ball skills, returning. He's the longest tenured player on this roster, along with Thomas Hennessy. So I'm going to go with Marcus May.
It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen, and as Duzable likes to say, tips and overthrows, you got to get those. So watch out for those as well.
Okay, and we saw that last weekend in Cowboys-Patriots when Trayvon Diggs caught a tip ball, took it to the house.
Took it to the house, yeah.
Right.
I just feel like Bryce Hall's got great ball skills, and you're seeing him getting more comfortable. Yeah.
5 PDs over the last 2 games for Bryce Hall. Question number 2. In honor of basketball season starting, which New York basketball player would you pick, or which team, should I say, would you add to the Jets? Are you picking a Nick or are you picking a Net? And you can give an individual player. We just couldn't fit all the players in the graphics.
Wow. If I'm adding one New York NBA player to the Jets, who would I add?
From the current rosters of the Knicks and the Nets.
I love Kemba Walker because I know he didn't have a great night, but the Knicks put up 138. Your New York Knicks Greens, great night at the Garden as they took down the Boston Celtics. But Kemba Walker almost single-handedly led Connecticut to an NCAA championship. And before that, I think they won the Big East tournament by winning 5 games in 5 days, and then he went nuts in the NCAA tournament. And he's a New York kid. So
I like it.
I'd love to have Kemba as part of the Jets.
I like that. I think the most popular answer would be Julius Randle, right? Julius Randle's 6'8", 250.
Put him at the tight end position?
Put him at tight end. But I do want to say that Kevin Durant, right, he's 7 foot 220. And if we look at the answer, this is the poll. 66.8% of people who voted went with Julius Randle. Kevin Durant, 21.9%. Coming in at second, James Harden, 6%. Kemba Walker, 5.2%. But the one guy also that I think we have to keep an eye on, I know he's a little older now.
Fournette?
I was going to say Blake Griffin in his heyday with the hops. I feel like he's like Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, oh yeah. Blake had a couple of throwdowns in the playoffs last year.
He did.
That reminded us of yesteryear.
So Blake Griffin's a good one. All right, but Corey Davis, who we're looking at right now, I bet he's pretty good at hoops if we flip the script.
Who do you think is the best hoop player on the Jets?
Hamza Nasruddin. Does he count, even if he's on IR?
Why not?
Okay. Well, I think Marcus May and Jamison might have the best stroke, but Hamza, there are videos of Hamza throwing down in high school, talking windmills, talking two-hand slams. What about you? You going with your Gator?
Yeah, Marcus or Jameson. I remember Jameson, when he was getting recruited at Duke, he gave us the stories on the podcast how he used to hoop with the fellas there, and he was holding his own. And
he played pickup with that Duke championship team.
Yeah, Carolina kid. Yeah.
All right, question number 3. In honor of the Jets' opponent, the New England Patriots, which clam chowder is better, Manhattan or New England?
I like New England clam chowder. Everything else, I'll take New York. But
yeah, it's the only thing EA likes about New England.
New England clam chowder, give me a little Tabasco sauce and a little bread. Yeah, I like the clam chowder.
I like New England, too. I do like Manhattan. I do think New England offers more. All right, if you want to see your pet on the big screen at MetLife Stadium, enter at NewYorkJets.com/MetLifePet. Now, let's throw up the pups. Pup number 1, PETS, pets, wide retrievers and feline backers. We're going Stella Pekulski right there, EA.
Stella! Stella's getting fed well, huh?
Yeah, Stella's got a healthy diet.
I think she might be eating some snacks with the pups.
No, that's possible. All right. Well, Stella Pekulski, beautiful dog. Let's go to PETS, pets, number 2. We got Maddie Weirdo, who, there she is.
Where is Maddie? Where was that shot taken?
Maddie
in a tropical rainforest?
She's hiding, I guess. I don't know. It's either that or maybe she's trying to get out of the sun.
That doesn't look like New Jersey to me. That looks like some tropical rainforest somewhere.
Well, if it's a tropical rainforest.
I like the great lengths people take to get the proper photo of their pet.
Do you do the same?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of proper photos, how about Cal Kemp, the American Bulldog?
Everybody loves a bulldog. A big tennis ball right there, huh? You're not taking that away from Cal.
No, Cal is keeping the tennis ball. Cal is also, probably also healthy fed. All right. Well, and here we go. Little double trouble here. Gizmo and Boo Boo Gargano. I thought maybe we would save this for Halloween because Boo Boo, a little spooky flavor, but here they are, Gizmo and Boo Boo.
So good story about Boo Boo. I think Boo Boo is a little bit older later in life, you would say, and a recent adoptee, and Gizmo took to Boo Boo. So that's a nice little love story. But I don't know why we didn't say Boo Boo for, like you said, Halloween.
Well, I think I realized it. I think I know what happened. It ends October 24th, and it is the 21st, Halloween, the 31st, so too late.
We got to get Boo Boo in another promo.
We got to get Boo
Halloween.
Boo on set in costume.
So maybe we'll put Boo Boo wearing the stealth black.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. 00, I like that.
Those two are inseparable, we've heard.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to end practice today, presented by SiriusXM. That's all we have this week. We will see you Sunday from right here inside the BetMGM studio.